This team is really pushing my fanhood to its limits. Garrett Wilson expected to request a trade in the offseason. All right, boys and girls, welcome in. This team is absolutely pushing me to my fanhood limits, and I am, like, beside myself at this point. We're talking a little bit of Garrett Wilson. Could he request a trade in the offseason? And then some reporting from The Athletic today that just pouring more gas on the fire, or at least, like, giving us some insight into what's going on behind the scenes. So let's jump into it. This was from Rich Cimini's podcast the other day.
Talked to people in Garrett Wilson's circle. They think, now I want to emphasize this is speculation on their part. They think he will ask for a trade after the season. Again, speculative by people who know him. We don't know that to be a fact.
As I was editing this video, Garrett Wilson was asked if the Jets extended a contract offer to him, would he sign it? Would he want to stay here long term? Here's what he had to say.
If the Jets approach you about a contract extension, would you like to stay here long term?
I don't know, man. I just figure I just do whatever, whatever, go about my day, however, figure my feet at, And if they do it, I would be a blessing. That'd be awesome. I love the Jets. At the end of the day, they were the ones that believed in me. So, But yeah, I can't be worrying about all that. Just going to finish these 3 games the right way. But I don't know, man. I can't be looking into all that right now,
Cimini does say this is speculation on the part of his sources that he's talked to that are within Garrett Wilson's orbit or circle or whatever, but this does seem to fall in line with the reporting we heard from Adam Schefter earlier this season, where there were teams out there willing to pay Garrett Wilson market rate when his contract is up for negotiation, which is at the end of this year, which to me implies that Garrett Wilson's agent is leaking out there that Garrett Wilson wants an extension, wants to discuss some potential trade opportunities that could be had, or even that other teams are contacting Adam Schefter saying like, hey, we want to stir the pot on the Jets a little bit and we want to get Garrett Wilson to start thinking about a contract. Whatever it is, either way, there seems to be some kind of legs to this conversation. And there's been plenty of times throughout the last, I would say 2 years where I've looked at Garrett Wilson, I've said, man, he is absolutely incredible, but he doesn't look like he's having a crazy ton of fun right now. He's coming from a winning program at Ohio State, always knows winning, and then just consistently beat down over the last 3 years. 2 years of Zach Wilson, 1 year of, the 1 year of Aaron Rodgers is pretty rock solid. I mean, it's clear that Rodgers favors Davante Adams right now, but like Garrett's like, I think one of the highest in terms of targets in the NFL. He's like really good as far as like yardage. He's going to eclipse 1,000 yards barring injury. Like, he's having a good year, but he should be having a way better year than he is. Like, there's plenty of times where Garrett Wilson's like running around in the backfield or running around in the secondary, just, hey, throw me the ball, I'm open for a touchdown. Like, his stats should be like Justin Jefferson level stats for this year. So I get the frustration from that side of things. Now, I do want to shed a little bit of light on the Athletic article that came out and some of the conversations that happened during one of the Jets' wins this year. After one of the wins, like one of the things that should be a high point in your season. And like, it's so cringeworthy. You got to listen to this. It has been a forgettable season for the New York Jets, and even one of the rare wins reportedly included a brutal experience in what should have been a celebratory aftermath. The Athletic published a lengthy piece detailing the dysfunction of the Jets under team owner Woody Johnson on Thursday, and relayed an interaction featuring quarterback Aaron Rodgers and Johnson's son Brick following the victory over the Houston Texans on Halloween. Brick is the son who's reportedly like giving little bits of feedback to Woody Johnson and maybe in his ear about certain moves and Madden ratings. And it was the first win for Jeff Ulbrich after the Jets fired Robert Saleh and Rodgers had a game ball in hand ready to give to the interim coach. But before Rodgers could speak, Brick Johnson took another game ball and awarded it to wide receiver Garrett Wilson in a profanity-laced exclamation, which the owner's son later posted to his Instagram. The Athletic reported Woody Johnson then gave Ulbrich the ball that Rodgers had been holding. Multiple players said the energy felt drained out of the room. One player called it the most awkward, cringeworthy, brutal experience. While Wilson did have an incredible one-handed catch during that win, it is a testament to a season to forget that even such a celebratory moment was tainted by the overall experience. You're telling me, like, it's cool. Like, I'm sure Garrett Wilson, when he made that catch, he's thinking like, hell yeah, I'm going to hold on to this ball because this is like pretty badass, and he should. But like, as far as Ulbrich winning his first game as a head coach, and like, you know, at least with us, since Robert Saleh was fired, like, it makes sense to give him the game ball. And I think Garrett Wilson would also fall in line with that same line of thinking. But to be like almost a victim of this weird, cringeworthy thing that Brick Johnson is just throwing on Garrett Wilson, when like clearly Rodgers, who should be kind of the leader of like the players, kind of, you know, not dictating certain things, but like if he's got the game ball and he's like, yeah, this is going to Coach Ulbrich, for like Brick to come into the locker room and say like, I got this other game ball, we're going to give it to Garrett Wilson. Like, if there's any like not just the losing and like everything that goes on with this friggin' franchise, like just the awkwardness of it all, Garrett Wilson has got to be like, I don't know. I don't blame him if he asks for a trade, and I want Woody Johnson to pay Garrett Wilson right now. Like, I do not want to trade Garrett. I would say 2 first-round picks is like the starting point, and I don't even want to consider that right now. Like, I want him here as a lifetime Jet. He's one of the few players that I can look at on a week-in, week-out basis and say, this guy's playing his absolute tail off, and he cares. You can see the fire on the sidelines. Like, we had the one comment from him, was it this last week or 2 weeks ago, where he's like, there's, you know, why don't we throw fades in the end zone? We're having issues in the red zone. Devontae and I are both really good. You know, give us an opportunity. The next drive or the next time they're in the red zone, they throw a fade to Devontae Adams and they score a touchdown. So, like, when the players are calling out things and, like, no certain plays or whatever are going to work based on what they're seeing out on the field and, like, questioning things, like, I don't blame Garrett Wilson if he does ultimately ask for a trade. Garrett, I'm speaking directly to you now, and I just want to say, please, for the love of all things good and glory, like, just hang around with us a little bit longer. Like, ask for all the money in the world. I don't care. It just, like, he's, like, probably one of the better players we've ever drafted, and I really like watching you play. And if we wind up trading you to, like, the Chiefs or the Texans or, like, some other stupid team that's just gonna, like, we're gonna have to watch 1,500-yard season after 1,500-yard season, I just don't want to see it. So, guys, help walk me back from this cliff that I'm clearly walking over. This fan base, this team, I don't know. Boys and girls, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets. People are making free money betting on sports, making thousands every month. The secret, they're using OddsJam. OddsJam isn't just another betting app, it's turning the entire system in your favor. Here's how. OddsJam uses a strategy called arbitrage, finding odds differences across sports books. You bet both sides, and no matter what the outcome is, you will profit. Here's an example. If you put $500 on Boise State to win on FanDuel and $335 on their opponent, San Francisco, on DraftKings, you're guaranteed to make $50 win or lose. It's that simple. With the OddsJam mobile app, you'll get real-time alerts on these opportunities every day. People are making thousands monthly. And to get you started, use code JETSTALK for 35% off and a 7-day free trial. I guarantee you'll profit during the trial. And if you don't, cancel. With one click, no questions asked. Don't leave money on the table. Go to oddsjam.com, use code JETSTALK, and start making money the smart way.